This will be our lab component. You will not have lab models. You will have this diagram in color, and you will label, with no word bank, you will label the glands, okay, the endocrine glands. And that will be 10 points on your exam. I just wanted to remind you. Okay. So what else can I discuss while we're waiting on Crumbums to get here? Anatomy.
Structure.
Thank you. Physiology. Function. Good. If I say balance, and I am talking about a stable internal environment, what word would that be? Homeostasis. Great. Could you please tell me the name of the messenger for the nervous system? Perfect. How about the name of the messenger for the endocrine gland? Hormone. And when you say or see hormone, what are you thinking?
Bloodstream.
Bloodstream. Always, always. Perfect. Yay. Okay. So now I'm calling roll. The way this works, if you did your bonus point, just say yes, here, whatever, and you'll get those points. If you didn't, I'm going to put a frowny face there. You'll never get over it. So, Carly?
Yes.
Plus 2, because I'm assuming everybody put penguin on there, or whatever. Libby did hers. Kendall? Kendall is still not here. I wonder if she's... Lindsay's too early for Lindsay. She's a back row booty girl. She'll be late. Riley Ann?
Yes.
Plus 2. Baylor?
Yes.
Plus 2. Macy? Plus 2. Brianna?
Yes.
2. Saray. Yay me. Abby. Abby. Not here yet. Evan?
Yes.
Lane is not here, but he did his. Amaya? Too early for Maya. Anna?
Yes.
Tiara?
Yes.
Dawson, not here yet. Emily, yes.
Yes.
Shelby?
Yes.
Wait, and you did it?
Yes, ma'am.
2. No Amy. Is she's not here? Okay. I have to have my little cheating. Ty is not here, but she did hers. Caroline.
Yes.
Jordan is not here yet. Ashlyn. Not here yet. Hi, babe. How are you?
I have a question.
Okay, come.
Okay. I'm so sorry.
Y'all, this is Alyssa. She's my favorite problem child. Gosh, is she a problem?
Do you think it's gonna be really hard if you study
What lab tech?
the
Oh, chemistry. Of course not.
Okay. Do you think it's not really hard at all?
It's got a stinking word back.
Okay. Okay. I'll be fine. You think I'll be fine?
You'll be fine.
Okay.
And hey, Alyssa, if you miss something, you're gonna have to retake it.
I can retake it?
Yeah? Mhm.
Okay, bet. Because I don't want to miss anything.
I agree.
Okay.
So go away.
I love you, Emily.
I love you too. Crazy. Oh, she was telling you. I thought she loved me. Hey, I'm the one that puts up with you. Amaya, did you do your bonus?
I did.
Good. Telling you. Yeah.
Can you come look at this?
You mean like totally stop what I'm doing
Yes,
and
Libby
come
is-
right over there to you?
Libby is the worst. Look.
Oh.
There's
Honey, I'm gonna have on a bikini and a thong. What you mean? That is hilarious.
She's gonna want a copy of it when you bail.
I do.
My mom got it from me.
Okay,
It
this
has
is totally worth it.
so when you scan it, I don't have to go
Dr. D, I'm a hormone. Ow! In the lazy river.
rubber eraser or anything.
That is so funny. Did I just tell y'all I love my job? I mean, it's the best in the world. Oh, that is great. Jordan's still out here. Did we find Ashley? Alexis.
Me too.
Alexis. Grace.
Yes, ma'am.
Leandria. Good. Perfect, except for our people that are not here. We got 1, 2, 3, we got 5 people not here. Okay,
This thing?
so, promise your brain's gonna hurt when I quit talking.
Number 10. Okay, so number 10.
So, we are, how about, the big 4?
Lipids,
Carbs, lipids,
proteins,
proteins,
and
nucleic acids. Good. What happened?
Just click back on that screen right there. Yeah. Click there. Yep, there you go.
I got power. 2 categories of hormones. Steroidal and non-steroidal, perfect. Which are the most common?
Non-steroidal.
Yes. How about positive and negative feedback? 2 feedback mechanisms. Which of those is most common?
Negative.
Perfect. Pretty happy with y'all. It probably won't last, but okay. For now. So we are right here. Where'd you go? There. Y'all, this stuff is so interesting. It's just so interesting. And I get to do it twice today. I'm so excited because I get faster. Y'all may need to slow me down. So, all right. So, let me go back to naked lady. Naked lady, where are you? Where are you? Boom. Okay. Pituitary gland right here actually connects to the hypothalamus, which is kind of just this area, okay? Right in there. Perfect. Okay? Whoa, stop, get back. Whoa, hello. You never know what's happening. Okay. So, the pituitary gland, you happen to know, is in the floor of the cranium, and it literally sits in the sella turcica, which is a bone marking in the sphenoid bone. It's protected 3 sides, from bone, so it's a pretty important gland. It actually attaches to the hypothalamus. And I think we even discussed that both the anterior and the posterior pituitary glands are under hypothalamic control. So the hypothalamus tells all of the hormones produced from the anterior and posterior pituitary gland what to do. They're in control, okay? But they are controlled differently, okay? And this is an important distinction. It is an exam question, okay? The anterior pituitary is sometimes called the adenohypophysis. Don't stress over that. The only reason I'm telling you that is I want you to know that adeno means gland, okay? And if you look, sometimes the posterior lobe is called the neurohypothesis, and you already know what neuro means. Nerve, okay? And that's exactly how it is controlled, okay? The hypothalamus controls both, but with a different mechanism, okay? So here's the anterior, it looks like, cloves of garlic. So here's the anterior, here's the posterior. And what I want you to know is the anterior, the adenohypophysis, is under the gland control part of the hypothalamus, okay? And it is going to be controlled by releasing hormones, okay? That's important. It is controlled by releasing hormones. The posterior lobe is strict, it's still hypothalamus. There's a question on your exam that asks you what gland controls controls the pituitary, and the answer is hypothalamus. But the mechanism that the posterior lobe is controlled by is nerve impulses. You need to know that. Nerve impulses from the hypothalamus controls the posterior pituitary gland. Okay? Ashlyn, did you do your bonus? Just say yes. Okay. Just say yes so you get your 2 points. It's not all about points. So we're going to actually look at that. So we're going to start with the anterior pituitary gland. It releases 6 hormones. You will need to know the names of these hormones, and you will need to know the function of these hormones, okay? So get your bonus out. So we had a discussion, apparently I was overwhelming people this morning. I had to slap them around just a little bit. So the way we're going to use this, so these are the 6 hormones that are produced by the pituitary, okay? These hormones are produced by the hypothalamus, okay? So if we look and remember our definition of a hormone, it is a substance secreted by a gland. So our gland for this top part is the hypothalamus. These are the hormones, and their target cell happens to be another gland. Okay? So keep it straight in your mind that all we're doing is this hormone is being released, and the target cell happens to be the anterior pituitary gland. Do not stress really over these names that much. What I want you to recognize is that the hypothalamus releases hormones that are going to tell these hormones to release. It's like a double signal. You know what it's like? Oh my gosh. It's like that crazy authenticator.
Oh,
It is. I hate that damn thing. It's like, come on, you're making me nuts. Every time I turn around, I gotta get my phone, because I'm not like y'all. I don't carry my phone with me everywhere. And now, have to have that. So this is like, it has to be authenticated. We got to have double verification. Okay, does that kind of help? I should have used that this morning because Alyssa had to come to work. Okay, so the way we're approaching this, we're breaking it into pieces. We're starting here. We're doing vertical, not horizontal. We're vertical, okay? Y'all are going to get so tired of hearing me say this. So, the hypothalamus secretes growth hormone releasing hormone. It travels through the bloodstream to its target cell, which is anterior pituitary gland. Now, it has a message, right? And its message is to tell the anterior pituitary to secrete growth hormone. Okay? Now, question. What are the 3 target cells for growth hormone? Bone, muscle, adipose tissue. Now, I am visual, so this helps me a lot. If this doesn't work for you, if it doesn't help you, throw it away. You got your 2 bonus points. Figure out some other way, that it will help you. Okay? And, but also, for me, when you are studying it, it is helpful for you to try to use all 3 learning styles. You have the visual, you have it in front of you. Okay, how about if we do auditory? You say, and you point, just like I did, touch that word. I know this sounds crazy, okay? Touch hypothalamus, say hypothalamus. You're going to have the smartest dog or cat around. Or maybe you got a kid around, okay? They're going to be real smart because they're going to learn. So see, she's going to learn all that. Okay. Because then if you are touching it and tapping here, 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 and here, that's going to be tactile. You're going to be using visual. And if you say it aloud, you're going to be doing auditory. Why not? I mean, you're studying, okay? So let's do it that way. Now, we know that growth hormone, kindergartens would say, make you grow, okay? But specifically what? So let's look at this. Whoops. Right here. So let's read this, but let's pick it apart and get keywords. It says that it will stimulate cells to enlarge and divide rapidly. What that says to me, what I hear with those words is increase mitosis. Wouldn't that, in mitosis, growth, maintenance, and repair? Okay? So, I would put that underneath the target cells, the bones. Okay, now look at this. Increase amino acid uptake. Okay? So, you have amino acid here, an amino acid here, here, here. They're all floating around just as happy as they can be in the bloodstream. And then growth hormone comes along and says, hey, I need some proteins. So you know what's going to happen? Bond, bond, bond. Protein. So underneath that muscle, put protein synthesis. that's what is happening. The amino acids are there, and this hormone is saying, hey, I'm running low on protein. You need to get to work. So it's actually bonding those amino acids and making a long-chain protein. Now, as long as I can understand and I can get a key word, then I can think of this because it makes sense to me. Y'all, there is so much material this semester, you can't memorize all of it. You've got to understand it, okay? And then last, it says, decreases the rate of carbohydrate usage. Okay, what was the third target cell? Adipose tissue. Okay, so what this is saying is you're going to decrease carbs by making long-term storage. Actually, glycogen, you don't need to know this right now, but if you have a bunch of carbs, so here we go again, I'm going to let G be carbs. So that's glucose, okay? You've got, except I shouldn't have bonded them yet. So you've got individual simple sugars floating around in your sugar, okay? One glucose, monosaccharide. Well, what growth hormone is going to do is say, we're going to bond these together. I'm going to make a polysaccharide. I'm going to make a complex sugar, and I'm going to put it right here in my pooch, or maybe over here in my thunder thighs, or heck, it might go back here. I'm going to take that immediate energy and I'm going to store it for when she needs it. Makes sense? That's what's happening. Okay? So I want you to recognize that the 3 target cells for growth hormone are going to be bone, and we're going to think of mitosis, bones growing. Okay, we're going to also think of protein synthesis with muscles, and we're going to think of energy storage with adipose tissue. Okay, good. Now, don't worry about the somatostatin. We'll talk about turning things off and on in a minute. Okay, so now, we're looking here. The hypothalamus is going to secrete prolactin releasing factor, okay? Its target cell is the anterior pituitary gland. What is its message? Secrete prolactin. Bless you. Prolactin target cell is only perky boobies. Saggy boobies, forget it. Okay, just kidding. But this is the perkiest booby. Oh, okay. So, prolactin's target cell are mammary glands. What is the message? Milk production. Okay? So you see how we're having to get verification, and then we're going on and we're getting all the way down there. Eventually, to where the crying baby's like, I'm hungry. Okay? Good. Okay? Now let's look, we're moving on to this one. Thyro is going to be for the combining form for thyroid. Tropin, T-R-O-P-I-N, means influencing, okay? So what this is going to do, the thyrotropin releasing hormone is going to influence the thyroid gland. Isn't it great when the name and words tell you what it's doing, okay? to me, it's so helpful, and that's why I spend a lot of time with MedTerm. I mean, why not? Because then you can see a strange word and maybe kind of understand it. Okay, so what you're gonna do here, the hypothalamus releases thyrotropin releasing hormone, target cell, anterior pituitary. Anterior pituitary, the message is release thyroid stimulating hormone. This is not a trick question. What do you think thyroid stimulating hormone does?
It stimulates the thyroid
Yeah, I mean,
to produce.
I love it when it tells me the answer. Okay, now what we've got to do is learn, okay, what are we stimulating? What are we telling it to do? The thyroid gland secretes 3 hormones, and this is what you're writing underneath on your bonus. You're going to put T3 and T4. We'll get to the big names in a minute, but underneath there, you're just going to put T with a subscript 3 and T with a subscript 4, and you're going to put, write this underneath it, up arrow, metabolism. Okay, up arrow metabolism. And then for completeness sake, we're going to talk about it in a minute, I want you underneath to put the word, this is a hormone, calcitonin. We're going to look at T3 and T4 together, and then in a minute we're going to look at the hormone calcitonin with parathyroid hormone, okay? So, increased metabolism. So, I'm looking for, oh, here we go. All right, so I'm gonna, and I may be flipping around on the study guide, sorry y'all. So here are the hormones, T3 and T4. I'm trying to think, I think the exam has the name, but it also may have the symbol. If it doesn't and you need to ask me that during the test, ask me that. But it's easy because look, triiodothyronine is T3. It's got tri in it, okay? And then T4 is thyroxine. Somewhere in your notes or on your study guide, write that T3 is 5 times more potent than T4. T3 is 5 times more potent, that's an exam question, than T4. Another thing you need to know as far as thyroid gland is you must have iodine. Iodine must be present in your blood, and the chemical symbol for iodine is capital I and a 2. It's diatomic. So, I can't remember the way the question is worded, but something like which mineral or whatever must be present to activate T3 and T4. And it's actually very interesting. Back in the, I would say mid-1950s, they were, physicians were seeing that there was an increased incidence of, especially primarily women, with thyroid issues. They would have goiter or something going on with their thyroid. And so they did some research, and they determined that iodine had to be present, and that whatever, our diets had changed, and that most people were not, through their diet, getting sufficient iodine for their bodies. So what they decided, the USAID or whatever, anyway, food people, Bobby Kennedy, no, I'm just kidding. They decided, hey, we're going to add iodine, can anybody guess, to salt. And now, so look, when you get home, get either in your pantry or your mama's pantry and look at the big, it'll be blue usually, the big salt that she uses to fill the salt shaker. And almost guaranteed it will say iodized salt. That means they have added iodine to it because so many people were having thyroid issues because of the deficit. Now, you actually, it's not hard to find, but you have to look for uniodized salt if you want salt. So notice that, and that to me is a very interesting aspect of research and health and different ways, that you can make some changes if they're important, okay? We're gonna come back to calcitonin, but I wanna look at this. What we said increased metabolism. That was our key word for T3 and T4. So I'm gonna read this and you tell me if you agree. What T3 and T4 do is increase energy release of carbs. That's metabolism. That's making use of our ready immediate energy. So increase carbs. Second, increase protein synthesis. Okay, so we're making proteins, and accelerates growth, stimulates activity in the nervous system. All of that is metabolism. Metabolizing all the food and the nutrients and everything so that you can function as a human being, okay? That's what T3 and T4 are responsible for. And then here it tells you that T3 is 5 times more potent, okay? And also remember, iodine must be present, okay? Good. So now I'm going back here. So remember, we're going this, well, no, we're not. This way. Okay. You need to know all 6 of the hormones. You need to know, which gland. Every hormone, you need to know what gland secretes it and what its function is. Okay. So now we're looking at the adrenal gland. The adrenal. We're going to get in the weeds a little later. So like there's somewhere on your study guide that you're going to wait on 17 and 18, wait on answering that. We'll come back to that. We may get to it today. Okay. So oftentimes in glands, it's this way with the kidneys and also the adrenal gland. The outer, there's 2 different types of tissue. The outer this kind of lighter yellowy, that outer layer is called the cortex. Cort, C-O-R-T, means bark. So it's like the bark is the outer covering of a tree, yes? So cortex will be the outer. You'll learn a little later the middle. The middle is called the medulla, okay? That's that way for the kidneys, and it's that way for the adrenal gland. So different hormones are secreted by the different tissues. So we're only right now looking at the adrenal cortex, okay? So the hypothalamus secretes corticotropin releasing hormone. So cortex influencing hormone is what it's releasing. Its target cell, anterior pituitary. Message is, hey, secrete adrenocorticotropic hormone. We're going to practice saying that because y'all want to say ACTH, ACTH, ACTH. But you need to know what it stands for. So we're going to practice. I'm going to do it a couple of times, and then you're going to join in with me, okay? And don't forget the boom. So here we go. Adrenocorticotropic hormone. Boom. Adrenocorticotropic hormone. Boom. Am I crazy or what? Okay, but now look. That name tells you the adrenal gland, the outer cortex, and it's going to influence the hormone. Tell it what to do. Okay? We're going to come back later and we'll talk about what the message for ACTH is. Okay? And then the last, did I still have this on the board? No, I erased it. Okay. Maybe y'all can see it here. All right, so not generic, a neutral term for, I'm saying, sex sales. Now, I'm not talking about Playboy magazine and, rated X films. I'm talking sex sales, this kind. Okay? Now, our sex cells can also neutrally be called gametes. But we oftentimes will use the word gonads as a neutral term. My and ladies, your gonads are ovaries. Your sex organ is your ovaries. Gentlemen, your sex organ, your gonads are the testes. Okay? So when we use the term gonads, that gets everybody in the room. Okay? Whichever piece you got, okay? So that means for it to be neutral and to cover everybody, this is going to be gonad influencing releasing hormone. Make sense? So the hypothalamus releases gonadotropin releasing hormone. Its target cell is the anterior pituitary gland, and its message is twofold. Secrete luteinizing hormone and follicle stimulating hormone. Okay? Two hormones will be released from the anterior pituitary gland. So, follicle stimulating hormone has to do with development of the ovaries. So underneath that, put development of ovaries. And then also put sperm. So follicle stimulating hormone helps with sperm maturation and ovary development. Okay? Luteinizing hormone, and I swear I misspell this word every single time I write it. I don't know why. Luteinizing hormone actually causes ovulation in female and has to do with sex hormone production of like testosterone in men and estrogen and progesterone in female. So in sex hormone production. You do need to know, we're going to get in the weeds in that later on, but you do need to know that FSH and LH are produced, secreted by the anterior pituitary gland and what the function is. Okay, so now we have, underneath the adrenal gland there, write the hormone cortisol. Cortisol's right here. And we're going to talk more about it later. Cortisol. Now, what you're going to do, if this is helpful to you, what I want you to do is to be able to start from here and go all the way down here. When you're studying, do it in segments. Look at it, say it aloud, point to it, look at it, all of that. That's for a study resource. If it helps you. If it does not help you, put it in the trash. If what you want to do is this, now, that scares me to pieces. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'll never be able to learn all that. This boring table is this with the posterior pituitary added. So whichever one works for you, you use. Okay? All right, so good. 6 hormones secreted by the anterior pituitary gland. Growth hormone, prolactin, thyroid stimulating hormone, adrenocorticotropic hormone, luteinizing hormone, follicle stimulating hormone. Because in the exam, what it might say is, this hormone secreted by the anterior pituitary gland helps in the development of sperm and ovaries. So if you know that all that you can eliminate some, you know that it's not going to be, it has to be one of these 6 because of anterior pituitary, and it's going to be follicle stimulating. Okay, so you may, some information may help you get to the correct answer. Okay, good. With every hormone, there can be diseases and disorders that can be caused or can be related to either too much secretion of the hormone, and we're going to call that hyper, H-Y-P-E-R secretion, or it can be hyposecretion, and that is insufficient. So you can use those 2 prefixes and put it in front of every kind of disease, okay? And that's what we're going to do. So think this through. If we're looking at growth hormone, which is secreted by the anterior pituitary gland. And we looked at a deficiency. This person did not have enough growth hormone during childhood. So we're going to call this hypo, not enough, pituitary dwarfism. Dwarfs have the dwarfism, or people will be small in stature, but they are body proportions are accurate. Okay, it's not like they have real long legs and then short hair and everything. They're normal body proportions, but just short in stature, and their mentally, their mental development is normal. Okay, they're just truly little people. Okay, and what happened is, if you'll remember, when we were studying bones and growth, we had the epiphyseal plate, which commonly is called the growth plate. We talked about if you had fractures that involved the growth plate, you had to be careful because you wanted them to grow symmetrically when you were fixating it and everything. So what happened is they were deficient when their bones were still growing. That makes sense to me. You cannot memorize everything in this class, but if you can logically think it out and it makes sense, then you can, do, like I said, a key word, and then you can follow through analytically. That's what I'm trying to teach you. That's what will make good healthcare providers. Somebody that can be given a certain amount of information, and then my good friend Rita Collier taught chemistry here for 4 years. She was a genius. I mean, like, I was always embarrassed talking to her because I know she thought, she loved me, but I know she thought, oh, you're so dumb. But anyway, she used to always say, put it in your mental toolbox. Put it in your mental toolbox, And what she means is, put it in there, and then, by association, be able to pull it out when you need to. That's what I'm trying to teach y'all. It's called critical thinking. It's analytical skills. I always like my good friend Julie Bowen, is the chemistry supervisor. All of her men, her 2 sons and her husband, are engineers. And I love engineers because they've got a logical mind. I mean, they got a plan, they got to follow directions, and everything. And it's like that. If I can teach you that engineering, that critical thinking, you're going to be great because you're a lifelong learner. That's the 2 things I want from you. I want you to become a lifelong learner. Just be thirsty for just knowledge. It can even be weird stuff. I mean, like, never mind, I won't get into all that. Okay. I like to dibble dabble. Cecil lets me, he doesn't let me, but we have negotiated that I have a certain amount of money that I can sort of play with. We're at the point in our lives that we have saved enough, our children are educated, our house is paid for, we don't have any debt, so I can play with the stock market. The stock market is tanking today. Y'all may not know that, you may not care. I care. Okay, it's down like, y'all really don't care. It's down like almost 700, the Dow. The NASDAQ is down over 400. So most people are just totally panicking. Well, I'm panicking because I'm not at home buying. But it's okay. I already put, because I don't do stuff like that on my work computer, I already put in some buy orders for some stocks. So I'm buying nuclear energy, and I'm buying Netflix. So there. Okay, so it's not a lot of money because I don't want to lose much, but I'm playing anyway. So I love to learn. You know, it's like, okay, let's get back to this. So here we go. None of that's going to be on the test. There's nothing on nuclear chemistry on this test, but if you're in chemistry, there is. Okay. So let's look at this. Gigantism. Just from fairy tales, you know what a giant is, okay? So let's think about this. Over-secretion of growth hormone. Hypersecretion, okay? Now, during childhood, because had to have it before the epiphyseal plate ossified. Okay, makes sense. Hey, I'm getting it. I'm understanding this. So literally, some people in this situation can be 8 feet tall. You better duck. I mean, you know, it seems to me like you'd be hitting your head. Oftentimes, there's some type of lesion or pituitary tumor. Okay. And then there's a question on one of these, and I never can remember which one it is. I think it's that one, but I'm not sure enough that you need to look at this. The next one, that is a disorder of growth hormone. The suffix megaly means enlarged, okay? Acro, A-C-R-O, that actually is a combining form for your appendages, arms and legs, okay? So acromegaly is an oversecretion of growth hormone during adulthood after the ossification. And so just the limbs, you know, enlarged, okay? You can also have enlargement of tongues, hands, feet, mandible. Oftentimes they have very strong prognathic mandibles, okay? If that one's on there, I'll remind you during the review, okay? Good. Oh, yay, we're to the posterior pituitary, and guess what? There's only 2, yay, I'm being nice, but it won't last for long, okay? So, only 2, but tell me, who controls the pituitary gland? Hypothalamus, okay, but how does the hypothalamus control the posterior pituitary? Tell me now.
Nerve impulses.
Nerve impulses. Great. Good. Okay. So there are only 2. Did I erase that? I think I did. What's up? Okay. I'll do it here. Somebody tell me what a diuretic is. This is your grandparents, they'll call it their water pill.
They reduce water in the body.
It does what to what?
It makes you eliminate water out of the body.
Yes, it increases urine production. If you are retaining water, if you're in congestive heart failure and you collect fluid around your heart, that's what you take it for, okay? So a diuretic increases urine output, okay? So does coffee, so does beer, okay? Those are diuretics. Doesn't have to be a medication. There are products out there that we use that are considered diuretics, okay? So now that you know what a diuretic is, then you should be able to figure out what an anti-diuretic hormone does. Tell me. Decrease urine output. Perfect, okay? ADH decreases urine output. Now, we'll talk when we get to the urinary system, we'll talk about specifically how it does it, but it actually tells the kidneys, hey, don't pull out the water, okay? I need it. So it retains, it conserves the fluid, okay? Good. And then the other hormone that is produced by the posterior pituitary is oxytocin. I need you to put an asterisk, a star, something by that, and write the word positive feedback. We have two mechanisms, positive and negative feedback. Which one is by far the most common? Negative. Therefore, I told you, anytime you have something that is positive feedback, you better know it, because we're going to ask it. So, ladies, is your uterus contracting right now?
No.
No. If you have a 12, we've already used this, a 12-pound basketball that has been inside your uterus for 15 months, are you wanting your uterus to contract? You better believe it. So what would the message, what would oxytocin be telling your uterus?
Increase contraction.
Contract and get this bad boy out. Okay? You're ready to deliver. I can tell who's had babies here because you're thinking, yeah, I get it out of here. Okay? So, oxytocin, I mean, you love being pregnant.
That's why they give you Pitocin and all
But
this.
yes, and listen, this is weird. I had maximum amount,
No contraction.
no contraction. I mean, and you know, I keep thinking, gosh, if I'd been a pioneer, I'd be dead.
Yeah.
I mean, thank you, medicine for a C-section. So anyway, yeah, it's like, they're like, it's not working. You know, it's like, yeah, so. Anyway, okay. So now we have covered 8 hormones. This is this boring table. And guess what? You know it all. You got it, okay? Good. Because I'm going to pile on. Getting paid to talk. Getting tired. All right. Did we ever find? Yeah, we found Jennifer. She walked in. Did we find no Amy? No Amy walked in. No, Jennifer's still not here. No Amy. Did you do your study? Your yes. Thank you. Read my mind. +2. Okay. No, wait, I put it in the wrong place. Jordan's not here. Okay, Jordan is still not here, Abby's not here, and Jennifer's not here. And Lindsay. Body hurt. Ooh, aren't y'all glad you're not missing this, because we're doing a lot. I'll break in just a few minutes. But of course, if you need to go, you get up and go. Okay, so we did T3, T4. Okay. So, thyroid gland. Disorders. We're going to hypo, we're going to hyper. Okay, so the top two are hyperthyroidism. Too much T3, T4. Specifically, there's an exam question on one of these. I think it's the Graves' disease. Graves' disease is actually an autoimmune disease where there is too much production of T3, T4. which means you have a high metabolic rate, you're kind of jittery, nervous, kind of restless, hyperactivity, weight loss. You can have protruding eyes or even a goiter. I'm going to show you a picture, and it looks like my older sister Beverly, but don't tell her I said that because this woman looks weird, okay? I swear every time I teach it, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, there's Beverly. Except her teeth aren't that ugly. But those protruding eyes, and I mean, it's like, oh my gosh. And see, and she actually has to take Synthroid. Her thyroid is messed up, so she does look like that. But anyway, see how this is enlarged area? This is actually a goiter. That is a thyroid gland that is drastically enlarged, okay? This is, let me write this word up here real quick. Infantile hypothyroidism is sometimes referred to as cretinism. I think that's on your study guide, okay? Cretinism is infantile hypothyroidism. Okay, so I need to go back. So the hyperthyroid, like I said, it's going to have the high metabolic rate, restlessness, hyperactivity, sensitivity oftentimes to cold, heat, actually just temperature. Then you have, let's look at this one, hypo. So that is insufficient, not enough, T3, T4. So stunted growth, abnormal bone formation. These people with hypothyroidism oftentimes are intellectually disabled and sluggish, okay, mental dullness. So remember that we can hypo and hyper every hormone, every disease, so you have to think, okay, what is the function of that? And then you go from there, okay? Good. Now, let me go back. In the mid-50s, 1950s, they were doing, physicians, you know, I told you there was a lot of thyroid issues, oftentimes with women. So they would go in and do a thyroidectomy. Just, okay, yeah, gone, it's from, it's gone. Well, they didn't realize, hey, wait a minute, there's something on the posterior surface of the thyroid. And so they were taking out, in addition to the thyroid gland, your parathyroid glands. They're 4 little jelly bean looking glands on the posterior surface. Okay? And so when people started having issues with calcium levels and bone formation and everything, then they realized, did some real research and realized, hey, there's something back there, okay? So the parathyroid glands are located on the posterior surface. They're usually 4, and they secrete something called the parathyroid hormone. We can abbreviate it PTH. I've decided, because we're kind of short on time and doing this quickly and you have the study guide, we're not going to do short answers. But I'm going to tell you what short answers are, and they're even posted, and you'll know to focus on them, okay? So this was a short answer. It's comparing calcitonin to parathyroid hormone. I'm going to get in the weeds for just a minute, but it's important that you understand this, okay? So Thyroid, the thyroid gland secretes calcitonin. So I'm talking about this little chart here. Whoops. Thyroid gland secretes the hormone calcitonin, okay? Now, the parathyroid gland secretes parathyroid hormone. These two hormones have an antagonistic property. Calcitonin decreases blood calcium. Parathyroid hormone increases blood calcium. Okay? Now, way back with the skeletal system, we talked about bone cells. What is the name of a bone cell? Osteocyte is the mature bone cell, osteocyte. And then we also talked about two other type of bone cells. We had osteoblasts that are immature bone cells, and I refer to them as bone making. If you have an increase in osteoblast, you are depositing bone, okay? Osteoclast, I refer to as bone breaking because it is separating bone. Bone is calcium phosphate, or hydroxyapatite is a common name. This is, you do not have to know this. This is a teaching moment. You do have to know this, but this is a teaching moment. This is the chemical formula for bone, calcium phosphate. So if osteoclasts are increased, and they would be increased if you are low on blood calcium. If you do not have enough calcium, then it's going to tell the calcium phosphate, hey, separate. I need calcium ions and I need phosphate ions. So it's making little holes in your bones, okay? Because calcium ion is very important. I put this on the board this morning. You do not have to know this now. This is, later you'll have to know this, but I wanted you to know the 4 major functions of calcium ion are bone development, blood clotting, muscular activity, muscular contraction, and nervous system neurotransmitter. Okay? What's your favorite muscle? Your heart. If you don't have enough calcium, your heartbeat will become erratic, chaotic. Okay? So, your body is very, very smart, and it says, hey, you don't like milk, you don't like cheese, you don't give me enough calcium? No problem. I know exactly where to go find it, okay? So if you don't have enough calcium, osteoclasts are going to be increased. So parathyroid hormone is going to kick in and actually separate that calcium phosphate and literally dump calcium ion in your bloodstream so that it can be readily used. Okay? Makes sense? And calcitonin is going to take the excess calcium in your bloodstream and deposit bone. You need to have a very good understanding of that. Okay? Good. I also want you right here. You must have vitamin D. You must have vitamin D, sufficient amounts. And here is why. Vitamin D actually makes it such that your digestive tract can absorb calcium. If you are deficient in vitamin D, you may have enough calcium, but you're going to have low calcium. Your labs are going to show low calcium because you're not able to absorb the calcium. Okay, so let's look at this for just a second. So the parathyroid hormone increases blood calcium level. Okay, and so you're going to see that cholesterol actually with intestinal enzymes have a precursor to vitamin D. Vitamin D, the provitamin D, is activated by sunlight, okay? By the UV light in the skin, by sunlight, okay? And then, long story short, goes to the liver, you have hydroxycholecalciferol, and then the kidneys will stimulate parathyroid hormone, and it will activate the vitamin D. The vitamin D will make it so that calcium is able to be absorbed. So with that in mind, I want you to recognize this. 3 target cells for parathyroid hormone: bone, kidneys, and your intestines. So the message, the parathyroid hormone message, which is to increase levels of blood calcium, targets 3 types of cells: bone, kidneys, it tells your kidneys to conserve or hold on to calcium ion, and then it tells the intestines to the kidneys activate vitamin D so that your intestines can absorb the calcium. Y'all, this is a lot of information. You're going to have to go over this today, okay? Tonight before you go to bed, please look over all of this. And then Thursday before you come in, look over it again. Okay, remember, repetition is going to make long term. This is a lot. Okay, good. So, what are we going to do? We're going to look at hyperparathyroidism and hypoparathyroidism. So, hyper, if you have too much, fatigue, muscle weakness, joints can be painful, okay? You can have altered mental function, and that's because the osteoclasts are overstimulated. They're breaking up too much of the bone, the calcium phosphate, okay? How about hypo? You can have seizures, muscle cramps, and you're going to have decreased blood calcium concentration, which can impact any of those 4. Okay? Good. Let's take a quick break, okay? And I'm going to keep on going. So we still did not get Kendall. Lindsay is not here. And Jennifer, Abby is not here. Dawson is not here,
I don't know about that type.
and Jordan.
That's why I have one of those white, like, pants or whatever, and everybody's asking why I got a white one. You can't lay it down anywhere.
I know, yeah. Mom had one, she was obsessed with it. I got her on it though. Cause I'm just the best at it. She saw me wearing it, she's like, where'd you get that? So I ordered it. So she had one she's trying to sell. She doesn't want it anymore.
She's always selling something.
Well, I know. Like some. I go home and watch this.
That's what I did this morning, they're in the dryer. Now I have to go home and put them in the phone, that's always the craziest.
Yeah.
That's like the worst.
That's the worst part. I
I
like
don't mind taking them off and putting, like, sleeping in them clean, but I hate getting shot.
I got to like a point where I was just tired of making my bed. So I just got a blanket and just sleep on top of the comforter. I'm too lazy to do it in the morning. Like during the day I do it, but like in the morning I'm not doing it. And I know I probably won't whenever I get home in the afternoon because I'm already tired from it. So it's a cycle.
I mean, my husband just sleep in the floor, don't sleep in the bed at all.
At that point, yes, I might need to make a pallet or something on the floor.
Sometimes I get bitter about making beds.
Oh yeah.
Hannah hates making her bed. Derek was trying to help her the other day, and he's like, put some effort into it, Hannah. And she's got like one finger pulling the sheet up, and he's on the other side, and he's like, 2 hands, use 2 hands. And she wouldn't do it. She's like, forget it, I'm not helping you then.
That's fun.
No effort, I don't
Yeah.
Why did I say I was stressed?
That's a lot.
I said I was stressed, yeah.
I was stressed yesterday, let me tell you. I got into a fight with my, stepson yesterday about, no, the night before, cause he was just being very disrespectful, very ugly, just whatever. I was on the phone with him, and I told him, I actually kind of don't do this very often, but I kind of live around the home. That's a mean, ugly word. But my daughter-in-law is not very,
Hard copy.
she's not.
And y'all need to just be, I always forget, oh, I don't have it.
Ugly text
Y'all just need to be
And you
working
should
those
tell me
pages.
how you
These won't be
think
due.
that my brain and my whole body shut after reading that. Just that part, yeah, just read it.
The day of the test.
I sent him a text to apologize. It was a very sincere apology.
All of that will be due the day of the test.
I started
However.
shaking. I was so mad.
I always accept labor, may not get full credit, but at least do it. The idea is that it's to help you be
She's been married to
successful.
him for like 2 years.
Yes, y'all
Supposed
need
to
to be
not
normally
he
safe.
was, but she
We'll
only
be down
listened
in
to
the
his
lab,
side of
so
the
we look
story.
at it, I'll pull these
And he
pages
came
up,
home
and
pouting
look
about
at
it, and she sent me
But
that, and I was
on
like,
this,
oh.
we're not doing it that way.
So then I had to deal with her all day. So then I got on the phone and called her. And I told her what happened, and she's like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't
This is
know.
challenging.
I said,
It's
you
a
may
lot
not
of
want to send
information
that to me.
in a short amount of time.
Lord, don't do it, Grace, don't do it. Your mama started coming
A
out.
lot of times,
Don't do it. I said, what do you
we're well researched down, and so that's not how we
What does that even mean?
Yeah, because he was the one who started it, so he was being very ugly. Yeah.
But actually.
I don't know the whole situation, but from what I've read.
No, like I told her, and Derek, my husband.
I remember when I first started teaching.
He said that was a mom and son issue, and she just took it and escalated. She's like, So yesterday, by the end of the day, I didn't want to say anything. I was just like, I can't do this anymore.
My week's been like really busy. Like Saturday and Sunday was like the only time I got to relax. Cause I mean, we didn't do nothing. I just went over to Brandon's house. I played with Dixie. Fell asleep. Slept again. Went home. Took off my makeup. Fell asleep again. I was so tired.
Sunday, I think it was Sunday, and then it got really cold.
I hate how cold it's getting. That whenever it's like, cause I know I'm supposed to be working this Sunday, even though it's not on the schedule, I know they're gonna schedule me. And I'm hoping that it does kind of get.
I would say yes.
So I don't have to.
We live on a hill. I won't be going anywhere, like a big hill.
Oh, where do you?
But,
are you
well,
in
okay,
Gaston?
I'm gonna clarify that, because for a lot of people, the urinary and acid base is very challenging, because a lot of people don't have any chemistry background.
We live like, if you're at
But
Marshall,
actually,
then you just
by
go
the
across
time
to
we
the
get to
street
that,
up the hill, that's
you
where
have
we live, just
become
right
such
there.
a good
Very close to
student,
town,
and you're used to the way that I teach, that actually
2 minutes to
people do
get,
pretty well on
not
that.
with traffic, but 2 miles to get anywhere.
Cause I approach it from a very basic chemistry. The chemistry that you need to know to be a good nurse or healthcare provider or whatever you're gonna do. And since I teach chemistry, I think it's maybe gives my students maybe an advantage, I don't know. But yeah, a lot of people think this is the toughest. And a lot of people, I will tell you this, a lot of people do not like chapter 13, so they just want to forget it as soon as the test is over. Oh, no, 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 we'll be talking about it all semester long. So forget that. Not happening. Okay. All right, so here we go. We're going to look at the adrenal glands, and sometimes in some textbooks you will see them referred to as the suprarenal gland, which makes perfect sense because they literally are sitting right on top of the kidneys. The word for kidneys is renal, so I can see why that would work, okay? The hormones that we're going to look at are secreted from 2 different areas of the gland that I've already touched on very briefly. The adrenal cortex, which is going to be the perimeter tissue of the gland, and then the adrenal medulla is in the middle of the gland. You cannot confuse the 2, okay? Cort is outer bark, middle is medulla, okay? There are over 30 glands that are, hormones that are produced by the adrenal cortex, and because I want you to feel the love, there are only 3 from the cortex that I'm going to ask you to know. See, if I put it in that aspect, you're thinking, oh wow, she is so nice. So do not worry about the zona homofaluta, whatever. I don't care. There are 5 different tissue zones. Wait, I'm not a histologist. Don't care. I primarily want you to know the cortex and the medulla. Now, the cortex secretes steroid hormones. What are you thinking right when I say that? Steroid hormones. Which are the big 4?
Lipids.
Lipids. So what happens when that hormone gets to the cell membrane?
It goes straight.
Yeah, he says, hey, I'm here. Hey, where's the nucleus? I got a message to tell. Okay. The adrenal medulla actually secretes amine hormones. They are non-steroidal, okay? I'm going to cover the amines first, the medulla first, because it's easier. Do not get wigged out about this. This is what I want you to know. The adrenal, you don't compare the two. When you get into your next program, you can get in the weeds on these. For right now, what I want you to know is the lion. The adrenal medulla secretes the fight and flight hormones. There are two, epinephrine and norepinephrine. Another word is adrenaline, and we all understand, you know, oh, my adrenaline just kicked in or whatever, okay? The adrenaline is your sympathetic nervous system actually involuntarily taking over, okay? So what do you expect? The lion is right here in your face. There is no fence. What are you feeling? Your heart rate is increasing. Your blood pressure is increasing. Your respiratory rate is increasing. What is decreasing? What do you not care about? The cheeseburger. So this is what you're writing, and this is what you're going to remember for the adrenal medulla, epinephrine, norepinephrine. Increase heart rate, increase respiration, increase BP, decrease digestive. That's it. Remember going on the picnic, seeing that lion, okay? Increase heart rate, increase breathing rate, respiratory rate, increase blood pressure. You are not worried about that cheeseburger.
Is this for both?
So decrease digestive system.
For both of them?
Yes. There is a difference in these two, but for our purposes, we're gonna just look at them in totality, okay? Good. So now let's look at the adrenal cortex. There are three that I want you to remember. Let's start with the easiest one first. The adrenal androgens. When you see the term androgen, think once again like gonads and sex cells, okay? Adrenal androgens are sex hormones from the gonads. So that would be testosterone for men and estrogen, progesterone for female. There's only like, unless I took it off, I think there may be just one question on that.
I heard you say something about therapeutic. What would you want us to do in that way?
This stimulates the sympathetic nervous system. What number's that? 26. So the sympathetic nervous system, thank you for asking, sweetie. I'm not real good at following them. I guess I'll figure that out. Kind of have to jump around. I'll try to do better. Don't count on it. I'll try to rearrange the study guide to be more compatible to. So. But I've just been doing this for too long, so it's like, I'm coming here and short. Okay. Now, these next two, they're tough, okay? I think I'll do cortisol first, okay? I don't know how it is on the study guide. If I would look at one, I might could be helpful, but that would be too nice. So where are we? We are knocking this out. Oh, wow. Yay. Okay, so, I didn't put any, I don't see anything on cortisol. Oh, that's not good. There needs to be a question on it. Okay, so we'll make one. So 29. Underneath 28, put 29. And it's going to be this. I want to do, okay, right here. It will be, list the 3 target cells. List the 3 target cells for ACTH and what their function is. List the 3 target cells for adrenocorticotropic hormone, but you can put ACTH. We're adding this below 28, okay? And what I want you to write is this. Inhibits protein synthesis. So down arrow, decrease protein synthesis. Increase fatty acid release. Increase glucose formation. And I'll explain that when you get that written. So, all right. So now remember, back to your bonus. Hypothalamus secretes cortico-releasing hormone. It travels through the bloodstream to its target cell, the anterior pituitary gland. Then we have that authentication thing, okay? So then its message is, hey, anterior pituitary gland secrete adrenocorticotropic hormone. What is the target cell of ACTH? The adrenal cortex. The adrenal cortex then releases cortisol. That's the hormone. Cortisol is what is the hormone that goes to those 3 target cells. You're going to have to study this, okay? Now, we've already done this with thyroid gland, but now look, so if cortisol is inhibiting protein synthesis, then what that means is I've just got amino acids floating around. They're not connected. They're not bonding to make protein, okay? So that means I've got a lot of amino acids there instead of my long chain, remember? Okay, and promotes fatty acid release. Okay, let me go to this one before that one. So remember, if you have too much sugar in your blood, glucose, then your body is going to make a bond. Make a bond with all of that sugar. Combine those monosaccharides into a complex sugar, a polysaccharide. A polysaccharide can be converted to glycogen. Glycogen, let me respell it. I messed up. Glycogen. Glycogen is the stored form of sugar. It's a complex sugar, okay? So if I'm stimulating glucose formation, I'm coming in with a chopper dopper, slicer dicer. I've got this Pampered Chef thing. And when Katie was 13-year-old, periodically, I'd have to get that thing out and just beat the hell out of that chopper dopper, or either I was going to beat her, okay, because she has a mouth like her mama. She's got to have the last word. So that chopper dopper, slicer dicer, you know, you're supposed to do like carrots and all this stuff. Boom, 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 beat it. Okay. So I'm going to come in there with my Pampered Chef slopper dopper. Why do I keep calling it slopper dopper? Anyway, y'all know what I'm doing. And I'm going to get in here and break that bond, break that bond, break that bond. So I no longer have all of this glycogen. Instead, I've got plain old glucose floating around everywhere. Immediate energy. Does this help? Y'all get it? Okay? Because you got to break the bond, and then you're going to have that immediate source of energy, okay? And then also you're going to get fatty acid release, so they're going to release that long-term storage energy from lipids. So cortisol, who has not, has anybody ever had a steroid shot? Has your house not been the cleanest it's ever been in the whole world? Because you're not going to sleep. I mean, I hope I never have another one. When, what was that? When COVID, oh my gosh. I finally got it, like everybody else had it in the world. And then I got it like the first week of some fall semester, 2024. And so my husband said, oh no, I want you to do a steroid shot. And then he also made me do something else, and I thought, listen, this cure is worse than the dadgum disease, because I couldn't sleep. And I was like running around, I'm already hyper, good Lord, do you think I need any more? Nobody will be able to live with me. So I hate steroids. They work. They make you feel a whole lot better until you crash. And then when you crash and burn, it's like you want to sit there and cry all day. Oh, I hate it. I hate steroids. Anyway, y'all know how I really feel? No. So I want you to recognize what is happening with cortisol and in the weeds why it's happening, why the glucose is forming, okay? So you can have immediate energy. Why you're going to break up the stored energy of the lipids, more immediate energy, inhibit protein synthesis. You're going to have more amino acids, okay? Good. Now, one thing coming up here. You need to know these hyper and hypo have specific diseases that go with these. The Addison disease, is insufficient. It is a hypo secretion of cortisol, okay? You're going to actually, it's more related to aldosterone, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Aldosterone is also secreted by the adrenal cortex, but this results in electrolyte and glucose imbalance, dehydration, low blood pressure, fatigue, nausea. It can be fatal because if you have severe electrolyte imbalances, you can die. Okay, so there's a question on one of these, maybe both of them. So Addison's disease is insufficient adrenal cortex hormones, okay? Cushing's syndrome or disease is too much cortisol. And I want you to write these two symptoms by it. Buffalo hump, and moon face. With steroids, you have so much water retention and swelling that your face is very puffy and just becomes round, okay? And that's often referred to as a moon face. Also, with cortisol, some patients actually have I need to borrow you.
You're good.
A fatty deposition up here, up high, and that's referred to as a buffalo hump, okay? A fatty deposition in your thoracic area, abnormal deposition of adipose tissue in your back and in your face. Moon face and buffalo hump are characteristics of Cushing's syndrome. Oftentimes, these are very challenging to diagnose, okay? Good. Now, I'm going to cover the last thing for the day, and it's probably the most challenging concept that we will be working on all semester. So, now I'm going back to the adrenal cortex and aldosterone. So whenever you hear or see the word aldosterone, I literally want, you know how little cartoons will have, here's me. Oh, I don't have a nose. Okay, so this is me. I am a natural artist. Okay, so that is me, and I have just said the word, you know how they'll have the little conversation word? Okay, so I have just said the word aldosterone. This is what you're going to think and say every time. You're going to think sodium ions. Okay? The chemical formula for sodium is Na, because the original Latin word was natrium. You'll learn that a little later. And so natrium is Na, and we Americanized it and made it sodium. So the chemical symbol is Na, and it has a +1 charge. I am water. What's behind me? What's behind me? What's behind me? Always, always, like little ducklings, wherever water goes, sodium is right behind me. Always. Don't ever forget it. Sodium ions always flow and go with water. That is so important for you to know. We're not talking about it right now, but you need to know that sodium has somebody that they hate. Not just don't like, they hate. And that is potassium. Potassium has the letter K because it was in Latin kalium. So wherever sodium is, hey sodium, I'm potassium, I'm going away. They don't even like each other. So if sodium is going in one direction, water's going that direction, actually it's following water, and potassium is beating feet, getting as far away as possible. Please always remember that. And we're going to look at it when we get to acid base, and we're going to look at it in terms of the cell membrane, and it becomes very important. So, this is what happens. Now, I don't know. Let's do another bonus point opportunity. Oh my goodness, that will be 3. But this one you can only, it's going to be half a point if you do a goose. Not goose, why do I keep saying goose? Grease. So it can only be worth 1 point. I want you, and it can be in words or it can be in a diagram. Figure out how you can learn and explain the renin-angiotensin system. That's this slide, slide 65. I'm going to explain it to you, and then you can either write it in words or you can diagram it. So, and then I'm going to stop for the day. So, let's see. This renin-angiotensin system's purpose is to maintain blood pressure, appropriate blood pressure. So when you see aldosterone, you're going to think sodium, you're going to think water, and you're going to think blood pressure. Aldosterone, sodium, water, normal BP, okay? So when something is going on with you and your blood pressure for some reason bottoms out, you have a drastic decrease in blood pressure, okay? So what stimulates this is a decrease in blood pressure. When that occurs, the kidneys secrete an enzyme. So renin is not a hormone. Renin is an enzyme, okay? So anytime something is an enzyme, I like to put an E because it's going to work differently than a hormone. An enzyme is a specialized protein that catalyzes. It's going to speed things up, a chemical process. So, boom, my blood pressure has bottomed out. Kidneys are going to say, oh, no. Hey, Marcy, I hadn't had a chance. Hey, sweetie, have you fixed it?
I fixed it.
Oh,
I got her to log into my account and print it off through her computer. And she would call me and tell me when she logged out and stuff.
perfect. Oh, you're adulting. You're amazing.
It was stressful.
I know you
I
were kind of stressed.
crashed out for hours.
You what?
I crashed out for hours.
I thought you said you cursed out.
No, I crashed out.
Oh, so slept? Okay, you can go to work.
Yeah.
Marcy see my morning 202. Okay, glad you got to work out. Love you, bye. She's also my grandniece. Okay, sorry. She also had the nerve to tell me Sunday that it was time for me to take my Christmas lights off of my porch. I said, excuse you, I like those party lights. So I did. Anyway, okay. She was so stressed because she was about to be dropped because she, oh, I don't know. She's on, anyway. Kidneys. Release renin. Something is going on. Boom. Renin's function is to activate. Now, this is a hormone. Whenever, and I'll start here on Thursday reiterating it because I hate to do this at the end of the day because you're tired. I mean, I'm tired. I saw that, Ashley. It's like, yeah, lady, will you shut up? No, I won't. Okay, so when you see this ending, O-G-E-N, that means inactive form. So you have this angiotensinogen floating around in your plasma. And it's sitting there waiting on renin to come to it and say, hey baby, let's go to work, okay? Renin activates this inactive hormone. Angiotensinogen is an inactive hormone. Renin activates it, and then it's going to go through a couple of steps, and this hormone will travel through the bloodstream to the adrenal cortex. The message that angiotensin 2 is telling the adrenal cortex is secrete aldosterone. Hormone is angiotensinogen 2. The target cell is the adrenal cortex. The message is secrete aldosterone. I know this is complex. That's why I want you to work on it and figure out some kind of bonus point. Now, aldosterone's message, okay, remember, it's a hormone secreted by the adrenal cortex. Its target cell is back at the kidneys. So we're going full circle. Aldosterone's message is, hey, kidneys, I'm low on sodium. I need you to hold on to it. So that means we're looking at words like conserve, retain, or do not excrete. So the message aldosterone tells the kidneys is, hey, sodium needs to stay. Don't tinkle it. Don't tinkle it. And who's going to stay with sodium? Water. Boom. So that means you will not be tinkling out the sodium and the water. You're going to be retaining it. Okay? Now, and that means, you know what sodium in water will do? That bumps your blood pressure back up. Wow. Yeah. Does your brain feel like scrambled eggs? It's tough. So this is a challenging concept. I want you, maybe you might find a YouTube video that works for you. I don't know, something. This is one of the most challenging things that I can try to teach, and people retain it in different methods. So that's why I'm asking you, and I'm offering you another bonus point. Figure out what works for you that you can remember this. And then come in Thursday, show it to me, and let's compare. If yours is really good, you may be teaching. Yeah. Okay, I'll give you my magic pen. All right. Now, we have covered a lot. Please go over it, but we are almost through with the chapter. Now, I have one more thing to tell you, and I cannot tell you how sorry I am about this, but it's going to work out good because I got further today. I'm going to finish this chapter Thursday, which means I'm going to review Thursday, because I promised my husband I've got my first oncology appointment after my follow-up appointment with the hematology oncology team at Kirkland, and I tried to change it. I said, I cannot come on a Tuesday or a Thursday, and she said, well, she's only here on Tuesday. So I promised my husband that I would take care of my health first. That man just loves me. I don't know what to say. And so I'm not going to be able to have your class next Tuesday. I will be able to meet my morning class. If you want to come and sit in, you're welcome. I understand you may have another class or whatever. But for that reason, I will review for you on Thursday for the exam.
The 15th.
Okay? So
The 15th? No.
I'll review Thursday, and then you will not have class on the 27th. No, you're.
The 20th or
no.
the 27th?
We're already on the 20th. You don't even know what day it is.
I don't.
Either. It's
So,
okay.
okay.
27th.
No
And you
class.
wrote it in ink.
I
Right?
always write in ink.
Okay. So we will not have class on the 27th, and I profusely apologize. And I hope they don't put me on any medicine that makes me crazy.
So the exam's
Because I'm
still
already
on
there.
Thursday?
No. What?
The exam's still on Thursday?
Yes. Yes. So you're just going to study at that time. And if I don't do a good enough review Thursday, then I'll record something. But I think that I think you'll be fine. I hate it. I just found out this morning. What, Keisha?
So on the 27th, we should come and study.
Yeah, you should study. Oh, y'all, we've got a cardinal tutoring. I'm almost done. Sure, one second.
It's for your class too.
Oh, okay, what?
The connect assignments. They're all messed up. Can
Work
you
for
please
me.
fix them?
I thought you asked me to fix them, and I fixed them so they would redo. Thank you.
Work
No,
for
it
me.
doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
We tried it earlier.
I'll be there in a
And it
minute.
says this score will be reduced by 5% for each hour late.